Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Tech Talk, Unlocking Efficiencies with techOMS. My name is Adam Lavergne. Today, we'll explore split shipment automation within techOMS. Whether you're a tech enthusiast or just curious about the future, this episode has something for everyone. All right, enough teasing. Let's talk tech. Last episode, we looked at using techOMS to automate backorder management. In this episode, we're going to explore enabling split shipment automation within techOMS. With just a few clicks of the mouse, we can help make this happen. Let me show you how. First, we have to define our split shipment rules within the order rules engine. This is where we define the locations we're going to calculate the stock in to ensure we have sufficient stock to fulfill the order in its entirety. We're going to define the warehouse selection criteria, aka only enough stock. By default, it's based on warehouse priority. Lastly, we define the split shipment action itself. So when splitting shipments, we've set the maximum number of shipments to 3. And in doing so, we've also prioritized shipments based off of count of items, though you can also use total order value. What this means, for a shipment to be split, there needs to be a location that can fulfill at least 1/3 or 34% of the count of items. If this is true, the system will create the first shipment. The second shipment also must contain minimum 1/3 of the order. And the fundamental logic behind this is to block the system from creating an endless loop of splitting shipments. So again, the first order has to be equal to or greater than 1/3 of the entirety of quantity. The second order equal or greater to 1/3 of the entire quantity. And the third shipment, if needed, will be for the remaining balance. Further, this is maximum number of shipments, meaning when the system attempts allocation, if the allocation can be fulfilled from a single location, perfect, 1 shipment. If not, the system will look at second location up to 3 locations. Again, you may have 95% of the order on the single shipment with the balance being split off onto a separate shipment. Next, we need to go through and we need to process the order. I created a fictitious order in techOMS. And let's go ahead and run and allocate and fulfill. We can see that there's 2 orders created. Why is that? Because it lacks efficient inventory. You can see the calculate stock function. That lacks efficient inventory in any single location to fulfill the order in its entirety. What the system has done is it's parsed out the first item, the first 2 items, I should say, onto a single order, so quantity of 2. And then the balance, the third item, was split out onto its own shipment. Despite the max number of splits being set to 3, the order was successfully fulfilled within 2 locations. By automating split shipments, orders are automatically split and sent to the warehouse with stock, all within the defined parameters for the specific client. So again, order rules are client-based. These can be configured independently by each client. You may have a client that says, no, I want a maximum of 2 splits from an economic perspective. You may have a client that says, I don't want to split. If you can't fulfill it from a single order, backorder it. Again, definable by client. In the event that you're not able to fulfill the order in its entirety within the parameters set out, so in this case, within the 3 splits, or if the client decides that they don't want to use a split shipment and you're not able to fulfill within a single location, as we discussed in last episode, the backorder management will kick in. And again, the order will be in a backordered state until a positive inventory adjustment happens, at which point in time, the system will automate the processing of those backorders, allowing you to rest comfortably knowing that techOMS has streamlined the process flow, allowing you to focus on fulfilling orders and satisfying your customers. Tune in next month, where we take a deep dive into product substitution via our order rules engine.